What's up everybody, GenExDividendInvestor here. For this video I created a spreadsheet that you can make your own copy of, which lists all the S&P 500 aristocrats and the months they pay out dividends, as well as the month that each one tends to raise their dividend. I did this to answer a couple questions I've been asked, which are, number one, can you create a portfolio of dividend aristocrats that pays every month? And number two, what month does each aristocrat normally increase their dividend? So if this sort of free content is something you appreciate at all, then please consider hitting the thumbs up button, subscribing if you haven't yet, and click that bell notification. Also, please share this video with one person you know that loves dividends, hates dividends, or doesn't care about dividends. So I'm big on teaching people to fish rather than fish for them. So rather than me create a static dividend portfolio of monthly pairs for you, I figured instead I'd put them all in a spreadsheet so you could create your own portfolio once you had the info. I primarily use Street Insider data to create this spreadsheet, along with Wikipedia and Seeking Alpha. So I'll include a link to Street Insider and the spreadsheet in the description of this video. All you need to do to make a copy of the spreadsheet is to have a Google account, and then in the spreadsheet click on File, Make a Copy, and then name the spreadsheet whatever you want and hit OK. And you will have a private copy on your Google Drive to do whatever you want with. So for every single dividend aristocrat that Wikipedia listed, I included their ticker, what sector they're in, what months they pay a dividend in, and what month they tend to increase their dividend. I find it super fun knowing when a company I love tends to increase their dividend because it's something else to look forward to in life as well as celebrate when it happens. For example, today we were guessing what J&J's dividend increase was going to be because they tend to increase their dividend in April, and sure enough this morning they announced a 5% increase. And so I also mentioned that raise to my wife and kids. Another company that I expect will announce soon is Apple, and on my Dividend Discord server, people were guessing how much they thought Apple might increase this year, with 10% being a common guess. How many of you guys out in the interwebs got a 10% raise at work this year? That's just another reason why I love dividends. My raises were often a lot less than 10% when I had a 9-to-5 job. Before I show you the spreadsheet, I wanted to reinforce that I don't recommend that you invest in a company just because it pays a dividend in a certain month and you're trying to make sure you get paid each month. Instead, I think you should just budget your dividend income so that the months you're paid more are used during the months you're paid less, and thus don't factor in when or how frequently a company pays out, generally speaking. Regardless, let's jump into the spreadsheet so you can see how to use it and how you could create a portfolio of dividend aristocrats such that you're getting paid dividends every month, even though I personally want to do that. Okay, here we are in the spreadsheet. Let me zoom in to, let's see, 200%. Okay. So each column heading you can sort on. So for example, right now, here are the different companies. We have 3M and then A.O. Smith, Abbott, blah, blah, blah. And if you scroll down, you can see these are all the dividend aristocrats that are in the list. And so right now it's sorted that way. If you want to sort it descending, you could do that. If you want to sort it on the sector, you could do that. So now you can see it's showing sorting everything that way. You can also sort on the months things are paid out. So let me go back to the original A to Z, so it's by alphabetically. So the next columns then are the month they pay out. So January is 1, February is 2, March is 3. And if it pays out, I put it, highlighted it in green and put an X in it. So for example, in this case, 3M pays in March and it pays in June. Scrolling to the right here, it pays in September and it pays in December. And then the most common month they announce a dividend hike is in February. And then I also put the second most common month. So 3M is one that normally raises in February's, but there have been times where December or January they announced a hike. So there's kind of two columns there, the one that normally happens and then a secondary month or months. So Abbott Laboratories basically has always announced in December with no secondary months, where some other of these aristocrats have other months. For example, Archer Daniels Midland, normally they're in February, but they have done it in November, December, or January. So if you wanted to identify what are all the aristocrats that pay in February, you could just come into your personal copy, because in mine you won't be able to do that, it's just view mode. In your personal copy, you could sort it A to Z, and then you'll see, okay, these are all the companies that pay in February, the top ones. So A.O. Smith, Abbott Laboratories, AbbVie, etc. And that's how you could ultimately build a portfolio of monthly payers. Again, not that I recommend you do that, but to answer the question, that's how you could do it. And if I go back out so you can see the full spreadsheet. And again, if I sort this A to Z, So here's all the information. And again, if you wanted to find, hey, I want an aristocrat that's in a certain sector, you can sort it based on that in your private copy, and then go, what are the 2 energy companies that are dividend aristocrats? Okay, Chevron and Exxon, or the financials, or healthcare, or whatever. And again, if you come and go, well, I need to know, want somebody who pays in May, then you can see these are the companies that pay in May. You can also find some interesting patterns where some companies pay out that don't follow the normal cadence, like quarterly or monthly or whatever. I'll leave that up to you to find those. So for example, we were just talking about J&J. So if we come down, let's sort it based on J alphabetically. And then if we go to J&J, this row right here, and you can see J&J pays out in March, June, September, and December. And the most common month they tend to announce their dividend hike is in April, which is what it is, and that's what just happened today. Awesome. If you like when I give you free stuff like that spreadsheet, then please show me by hitting the thumbs up button, subscribing if you haven't yet, and click that bell notification. Finally, I recommend you jump on my free dividend Discord. Most people who join have never used Discord before, and everyone says it's super easy. I need to authorize you so you can gain full access on my server, and I tend to authorize accounts within a few minutes or hours from the time you join up. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again real soon. I am not a financial advisor, and these videos are for entertainment, inspiration, and educational purposes only. Investing of any kind involves risk. I am only sharing my opinion with no guarantee of gains or losses on investments.